watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Hello, I am your Superintendent, Jason Manuel. Thanks for joining us for this month's Spotlight on Excellence. For today's show, we will get a sneak peek at the upcoming play, Annie Jr., from the Falcon Footlight Theater. We will also get to hear about all the great things happening in the TV studio, including election coverage. But we would like to start today's program by visiting with Machari Shaw and Coach Pendleton with the Houston High School volleyball team. Thank y'all for being here. So, tell us a little bit, Coach Pendleton, about how did you get into volleyball? Tell us about your experience.
Honestly, when I went to college, I didn't think I would be a volleyball coach. Another superintendent asked me to come coach, and I started coaching boys basketball actually at Houston Middle. And I then continued on. This is my 18th year coaching.
Oh, wow.
So I was at another school for 3 years, and then I've been here for about 15.
Now, you played volleyball at Germantown High School, correct?
I did. I played volleyball, basketball, and softball.
So you're multi-threat.
Yeah, I did all of them, and then went on and played volleyball in college in Memphis.
So tell us about your experience at Houston High School. So you said 18 years that you've been doing this?
18 years. I was at Houston Middle for 3 before I came here, but I love Houston High School. I love the kids here, supportive parents, supportive program. So it's been a good 15 years.
But it's changed since you started, because I think when you first came, the numbers weren't quite the numbers that you have now.
No, it was much bigger actually when I started, and it's smaller now, but in a good way. I mean, I have quality athletes that are good students, good people, and that's what's important.
But it's not just at the high school level that you have teams, because
no. This year I had 8 teams. I had 2 6th grade teams, and then 3 other middle school teams, like an 8th grade, 7th grade, and then a combo team kind of. And then I'm involved with the freshman, JV, and varsity team. So it's 8 of them that I'm involved in.
Now, obviously, you can't do all that by yourself. You have some help.
I have some really good coaches that help me, and that's how I make it. I just pretty much oversee all of them. I really only coach the varsity team.
So, Machari, tell us about your experience with Houston High School volleyball. So, did you start playing volleyball when you were young, or is this something that you started doing when you were in high school?
No, I started my very first year. I started playing freshman year. I actually didn't even make the team the first year because I didn't know what I was doing at all. And after that, I just kept working with it because Coach Becky convinced me to keep trying and play again and try out next year. And I've been on the team ever since.
So why volleyball? So what drew you to volleyball?
It was just, I mean, I had done everything else before. I had done track, basketball. I played golf for a while, to be completely honest. But I don't know, I was watching TV one day, I think, and I just saw people playing volleyball. I was like, hey, I think I want to try that out. So been here ever since.
So tell us some of your highlights. So is this your senior year that you're finishing?
Yes, sir.
So it's kind of bittersweet that you're done with your high school. What are some of your highlights? What are some of the favorite things that you remember about playing volleyball for Houston?
My favorite moment was us going to state this year. That was really all that I wanted this year, was that we go to state and then we play as hard and as best as we can. So that was my favorite moment.
So, Coach, tell us some of yours. What are some of your highlights of being the high school volleyball coach?
This year was a challenging year because last year I lost 7 seniors, and 6 of which are actually playing in college and playing as a freshman in college. So
you lost some quality players.
I lost some quality players. So this is definitely a rebuilding season, and people like Machari as a senior stepped up, and they did great this year. So we struggled at first, but we were young and only had 4 seniors this year. So though next year it's not going to be as much of a loss. It's hard in a program versus
People.
just,
Yes.
So anyway, she did a great job. We went and we competed, and we ended up by the end beating all the other municipalities, so that's awesome.
That's really good. Well, Machari, what are your plans with volleyball once you leave Houston? Are you going to continue playing sports?
Yes, I do plan to play in college. I just have to make a decision as to where I want to play.
Have you been looking at certain schools?
Yes, sir. I have. I've been looking at Fisk University in Nashville and Sweeney University of the South.
On top of the mountain, isn't that where Sweeney is?
Yes, sir.
Now, have you visited both those schools yet?
I actually have. I visited Fisk earlier in the season. We were going to Brentwood for a tournament. I left early and visited there. And I actually had a college bridge program at Sweeney for, it was a pre-med bridge program that I went to this summer. So I visited there for a while.
So you're a scholar, not just an athlete, too. So,
Yes, sir.
You're a member of the Honors Academy?
Yes, sir, I am.
Have you taken a lot of AP and honors and dual enrollment courses?
A lot.
What's been your favorite course that you've taken through the Honors Academy?
My favorite course. It would
Or,
have to
or
be,
we'll say hardest. What is your most
my
challenging?
hardest course right now is dual enrollment biology. That's my hardest course. But my favorite one was AP US History last year. That one was my favorite.
Now, who were the seniors that you looked up to last year? So if you had to say those are people that you wanted to emulate and thought, if I can play like they, or if I can balance my life with school and volleyball, who are those seniors you looked up to?
Oh my goodness. I looked up to all of them in sort of in like different aspects of the game and sort of on and off the court. I wanted to be Rhonda, the fact that she could hit the ball straight down. I wanted to be Kylie and pass up everything. I wanted to be Brown and bring energy to the court. I wanted to be everybody. So it was just, I don't know. It was just a combination of all the seniors.
So you're picking the best qualities of each of those to
Yes, sir.
try to emulate. Well, that's exciting. Well, tell us a little bit about the volleyball experience, because it's not all about the wins and losses on the court. It's about how y'all act as a team and how y'all are really a family. What are those things that volleyball does that make y'all a family, that make y'all a group of players that really bond together?
Well, I try to make this program more that you do it for each other and you have each other's backs. So if Machari needs help in something, someone else needs to be helping her pick it up. And it makes it a lot easier when you bring your younger ones up, because I'm so involved with the younger ones, and you know, having a daughter now that's in 6th grade, so she's coming up, to see how it is with the older kids, and therefore it's a lot easier to run as a program. But yes, they help each other. I mean, I have it where if someone's struggling in a class, the other one is to help them. I mean, we're a team. We are a family. Women's sports are a lot different than men's.
Yes.
You know, they have to get along. And if you can't get along, it's harder to win.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for everything that you've done for Houston Volleyball and how exceptional a program it is, because you're making a family. You're making it something special for kids that they're a part of. Thank you, Machari, for everything you've done for Houston Volleyball. When we return from the break, we get to hear about the next big play by the Falcon Footlights Theater. Back in a bit.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Excellence, a monthly program where we showcase some of the amazing things happening in and around your Germantown schools. We would like to welcome to the show Ann Lowery, director of the upcoming Annie Jr., and Amelia Summy, who is playing little Annie. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Well, this year's play, Annie Jr. So the first question I have, Ann, is for you. How did we choose this play? How did Falcon Footlights decide on Annie Jr.?
Well, they left it up to me, and it has always been near and dear to my heart, and so and it seemed like an easy it seemed like an easy one to do at the time, but now that we're into it, I'm learning a little bit differently. But I knew the kids that I had coming up through the program, and I just felt like I had a good fit of cast potential for the particular show.
So Amelia, so the next question is for you. So tell us about your play experience. So what made you want to try out for Annie Jr.?
Well, Annie has always been one of my favorite movies, and so I thought I want to try out for this play because I knew it would be fun.
So did you know when you were trying out that you wanted to be Annie, or are you thinking, oh, I hope I'm just one of the orphans, or did you really think, I really want to be Annie?
I was hoping I would at least get in because I was just hoping I would get in the play.
So have you done other plays before, or is this your first?
Yes, I've done 2 other plays. I've done The Lion King and the Falcon Footlight's musical review.
Oh, what has been your favorite so far?
Probably The Lion King.
The Lion King. What were you in The Lion King?
I was in a dance ensemble, and I was a gazelle and hyena and a lot of other things.
So what's the difference between Annie that you're doing now, Annie Jr., and The Lion King? Is there as much dancing? Is there more singing, or do you think they're about the same?
I think it's about the same, but there's more talking in the Annie play.
So you think there's more story that
Yes.
requires narrative and talking?
Yes.
So what's your favorite part about Annie so far?
Probably just being able to hang out with my friends and being with all my friends and going to practice.
Oh, that's exciting. Now, I know my kids did the plays also at Farmington, and it takes a lot of work. So how
Yes.
much are y'all practicing up at Farmington?
We practice a lot. We practice every week. We practice almost every afternoon.
Now, is it everybody? Because there's obviously, and Ann, you could probably answer this question. How many kids are in Annie Jr.?
We have about 71 that are
Wow.
actually in the cast, which is actually smaller than last year. We had close to 100 last year for Lion King, but we scaled down just a little bit this year. And so 71 on stage, but there's almost 100 when you include all of our crew that has started just recently showing up for rehearsals as well.
So I'm assuming when you say y'all are practicing that you don't have 100 students all at once at the same time.
We do now. We did not at first. We were dividing and conquering for a while, but as of this week, every child is there, and we're piecing, each scene together and each act together, and figuring out, where we need to make sure that everybody has a place at the end of the day.
What has impressed me in the past, seeing the Farmington plays, and I know y'all are doing this, is that it's a team effort. When we talk about the Falcon Footlights, you're not doing this all yourself.
Oh,
you're
no,
not
no,
supervising
no, no.
100
No,
students after school.
No, first of all, we have a fabulous Booster Club board, and without them, nothing would be happening, honestly. They handle the backstage things, or the behind the scenes things, such as chaperoning and making sure that we have the things that we need so we can do our job. But I have a fabulous creative team that I assembled over the summer. I have a separate choreographer, I have a set designer, I have set artist. I have a group of teen coaches that we're using this year. We've always had teenagers kind of helping, just kind of, just show up. But we were very deliberate in choosing some kiddos this year that have come through our program that have been absolutely fabulous. They are great coaches. They're sometimes better than me. I just say, can you fix that for me? And they take it and run with it, and it's been great.
So tell us, Amelia, a little bit about the coaches that you've worked with. Are there any coaches or teenagers that you get to interact with that help you?
One is Caroline Pillow. She's been helping me a lot because she's been helping me improve the way I sing.
Now, was she the Little Mermaid? I don't know if you...
Yes.
So
Yes, she
she's
was.
got experience
Yes.
being the one who's center stage. What has she
Yes.
helped you with on singing?
She's helped me mostly with my singing, but also with acting. Like facial expressions.
And a lot of times you're thinking about what you're saying, not what you look like when
Yes.
you're... Oh, exciting. So tell us about your friends who are in Annie Jr. Who are some of your friends that are in the play?
Well, one of my friends is Sophie Croft. She is one of the orphans. She's Pepper. And then another one of my friends, she's in my grade, Kiki Southern. She is July. And another one of my friends is Ava Kate. She is Kate.
So y'all have a lot of scenes together because they're the orphans with Annie, or are you spending time with Daddy Warbucks and the people playing the adults in the play?
Really, I get a mix of both of them because I get to spend a lot of time at the orphanage with all the orphans, and then I get to spend a lot of time with Daddy Warbucks.
Now, who is the mean lady who supervises the orphanage? What is her name?
Miss Hannigan.
Miss Hannigan. Who's Miss Hannigan?
Her name is Isabella Henderson.
Isabella Henderson. Is she mean?
No, she's really not. She's one of my good friends.
So she's having to act a lot to be the
Yes.
mean Miss Hannigan? Mm-hmm. So when is Annie Junior, Ann? When is that?
We open to the public on November 17th, and we run through the weekend. It's Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night at 6:30, and then Sunday we have a matinee at 2:30.
And how do we get tickets?
We are doing ticket sales starting after this weekend. You can go on Brown Paper Tickets and brownpapertickets.com, and you can go online and you just you search the Falcon footlights, Annie Junior, and it'll pop
It'll
up.
take you to the tickets,
takes you right to the site.
So it's exciting to have your friends there. Are y'all doing special shows for the kids at the school, or do they come to the matinees, or they just get to choose their shows?
We are going to have a friends and family night for our friends and our family that we invite on Wednesday night, but then all the other shows are the weekend shows. We're not doing a matinee for the school this year.
Well, tell us about your experience, Ann. So this isn't your first rodeo with plays. How did you get into this business?
I actually volunteered. My two sons, who are now juniors in high school, they one is very active in theater, but they were doing the shows with Kate Crowder when she was still doing the shows at Farmington, and I volunteered as a parent. And then after that experience, I realized that she did not have someone with music background helping with the music part of it, and so I offered my services. I had 15 years experience with children's choirs, and I did some musical directing with church programs, which is a far cry from what we do at Farmington. And so it kind of morphed into the board asking me to take the helm this year. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of learning process for me, because it's been a while since I've directed anything full out like this, but it is really, it's kind of filled a spot that I had kind of walked away from for a while and came back into it, and it's been just nothing but a pleasure.
Well, thank y'all for coming here, and we are so excited to see Annie Junior, and Ann, I'm sure you're going to do a fabulous job with this play.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Stay with us. When we return, we will meet with the Germantown Municipal TV senior producer, Ryan Sweeney, and hear how Houston High School will be doing live coverage of the election. Back in a minute.
Hey ho, Bowman, hey Dapper Dan, you both got your style, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Your clothes may be Beau Bromley, they stand out a mile, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Who cares what they're wearing on Main Street or Saville Road? It's what you wear from ear to ear and not from head to toe that matters. So senator, so janitor, so long for a while. Remember, you're never fully dressed. Though you may wear the best, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Smile, 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 darn it, smile.
Welcome back. I am Superintendent Jason Manuel. We'd like to spend our last segment highlighting some of the great learning experiences provided to the students through the television studio here at Houston High School. Joining us is senior producer Ryan Sweeney. So this is a little different position for you, Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, how the tables have turned.
Usually you're on the other side of the camera. So tell us a little bit about Houston's television studio.
Okay, well, this is the public access station for the city of Germantown. We are on the Houston High School campus. Our film and video teacher, Drew Hamilton, teaches 3 different classes: Film and Video 1, 2, and Advanced Film and Video. And Advanced Film and Video is technically what we're doing right now. The kids are all running positions, they're running camera, they're running teleprompter, switching audio, and it's a great experience. And we tape up to 7 shows a month right now for the city of Germantown, including this show. And we also broadcast all the City Hall meetings, the Design Review Commission, Planning Commission, Board of Mayor and Aldermen. I'm sure I'm missing one in there. Board of Education meetings, we do that, so.
Y'all are covering a lot of different components in the city.
Yeah, a lot of different stuff.
What are some of the shows that you do here at the television studio? You mentioned 7 different shows. What are some examples of those shows?
Your show, Superintendent show. We do a show with Germantown Mayor Mike Palazzolo. We have a finance show, a law show. We're over at Germantown Community Theater doing a show there. And we also have a Healthy Germantown show, which encourages healthy eating and exercise and that kind of thing.
And when students are filling these roles, they're not stuck in one position.
No. We switch up the kids every month. So one month they could be directing, another month they could be running audio. And we just switch it up so each student has a different job every month and kind of gets to see what they're good at and where they excel.
And the quality of the equipment that we have here is bar none. Tell us about what y'all are really learning on, what software, what programs, what are you teaching the students here at the studio?
Well, this is only our 3rd year in the studio space, so everything in the studio is less than 3 years old. Everything's digital. We just put in brand new Avid editing systems for Mac Pros in our film and video classroom. We have 2 over here in the studio. We're a completely tapeless facility. There's no tapes anywhere. We're all digital. Everything's digital. We have all LED lighting around the studio. And, we're constantly thinking of different ways where we can add more stuff into the studio.
I think what's special about this program in this studio is the partnership really with the school district and then also with the city and the PEG funding. Like you talked about, this is a PEG studio. Mm-hmm. And you receive funding from the PEG channels, which is really the cable television. And how much are y'all receiving a year approximately for equipment?
I hate to get into exact numbers, but a little bit over $200,000 a year. And the city is nice enough, they're nice enough to share that money with us. So we really couldn't do this without, the blessing of the Germantown Municipal School District and the city of Germantown. Because
I think when we look at it and what's special is we have made a commitment because we pay for the salaries of all the people working in the television studio, and that PEG funding is really used for capital equipment. So when we talk about the devices, the software, the cameras, those are going to continue to stay new. We're going to stay current because we're receiving that PEG funding to pay for those devices. And I think that's exciting, that students will always be on the forefront of what's happening with technology.
Exactly. I mean, at this point, we rival news stations in the city of Memphis. I've toured a couple different news facilities. I won't name any names, but we're right up there, if not a little bit better than some of the TV stations around Memphis.
So students who have an interest in this, when they transition to the real workplace, they'll have real experience with real devices, real software that they're using at those studios.
Exactly. They'll go to some colleges and be amazed that that's the equipment that they're going to work on when they get to college, because they've been here and they've seen, they've worked with industry standard stuff, and they may be in for a little bit of a surprise when they go to college.
So we're not staying stagnant with equipment. We are looking forefront, but you're also looking forefront with new programs, new shows that we can do. And y'all are doing something here new at Houston High School to really coverage the election that's coming up. Tell us about what you have planned for Election Day.
Well, we've already taped election interviews. Our host, Ruth Dunning, who has a show, Mid-South Matters, she interviewed all the candidates, so we've been playing those. During the actual day we're going to go live at 10 in the morning with exit poll results from all the Germantown precincts, and we're going to be focusing on the 5 local contested races, the Board of Education, the Germantown Alderman. Forrest Owens is running unopposed, so I think we'll just stick with the 5 that are opposed. And so we'll be displaying those exit poll results throughout the day as part of our broadcast. And then starting around 3 p.m., we'll be doing live interviews with the candidates to discuss, their reactions to the results that we're getting in. So it's a big effort between Coach Wolf's students and our film and video students. And it's our first time doing this, first time being live in the studio. So I'm excited.
So we're actually going to have Houston High School students who are taking, what course are they taking? Is it the government classes?
Yes, AP government classes is what they're taking, and of course our advanced film and video kids will be in here running the positions and typing up the results and everything like that. So,
but those government students are actually going to go out and be the pollsters.
Yes, they're going to be standing outside exit polling locations, asking politely who you voted for, and we hope you guys will tell us who you voted for so we can report those results.
And in the spirit of true public access television, this is really going to represent what's happening in Germantown.
Yes. It's important for us to cover the races that people in Germantown care about. I don't feel that people would watch us so much for presidential coverage or even the House of Representatives or anything like that. They want to know what's happening in Germantown. We're the public access station for the city of Germantown, so those are the races we care about, and those are the races we will cover.
Well, it's really exciting. I look forward to, that's the channel I'm going to be watching.
Excellent.
To pay attention to those races. Tell us a little bit about your experience. So where did you go to college, first of all?
I went to the University of Alabama, Roll Tide, and I did broadcast journalism there. And once I graduated, I got a phone call to take the job at Shelby County Schools as their video coordinator. And that's really what I enjoy is, being behind the scenes, not so much this, but behind the scenes, editing, video shooting, that kind of thing. So once this opportunity became available to kind of have a little bit of control over the local access station, I couldn't say no to that.
Well, you're doing incredible things here in
Thank you.
Houston High School and in Germantown, and thank you for bringing your expertise here with us and working with us.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing what you're going to do in the future. Well, that's all we have time for this episode. If you'd like more information about this or any other show on Germantown Municipal Television, visit us on our website at www.gmtvonline.org. Until next time, this has been Superintendent Jason Manuel for this month's installment of the Germantown Municipal School District's Spotlight on Excellence.